All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chris's Sports Corner. Real quick, man. Hope everybody's having a great NFL Sunday. Want to talk about this Baltimore Ravens Philadelphia Eagle game. I don't know, man. To me, first of all, the Philadelphia Eagles, I thought, showed resiliency in this game. First of all, you got to give them a lot of credit for that. They could have easily packed it in and been like, all right, this a wrap. We're going to go ahead and take it to the house. But they didn't. They kept going. They kept fighting, and you got to admire that to a point where they almost tied this game up. And when you look at the tale of two tapes, I thought Carson Wentz really got it going. He started to look more like Carson Wentz in that second half. The first half, I think he only had like 30 yards throwing or something. So he kind of got moving, kind of got going in that second half. And I thought the receivers for one started to catch, even though they did have a few drops in that second half. Well, they had a lot of drops in that first, but I thought they started to catch the ball. Philly, like the Cowboys, are really, really banged up on that offensive line, and for majority of that game, you felt like the Baltimore Ravens was just harassing Wentz, man. They was getting home. It's no doubt about that. They was getting home. I really didn't feel like the Ravens was the Ravens today, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm still looking for what's causing the offense not to click. And then you look at the untimely penalties. I mean, I think all but one offensive lineman had a penalty. All but one, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not even sure if he got one. Had a penalty. And I'm like, this is not what you become accustomed to from the Baltimore Ravens. If I'm the Baltimore Ravens, and again, they are also dealing with some injuries on the offensive line as well. So we got to first acknowledge that. We got to acknowledge the fact that they're dealing with it. But it's like I don't know what's going on this season, man. I mean, you got so many injuries. Especially along offensive lines. It's like they're just juggling, trying to put people together. But I still don't understand what's going on with the Ravens offense. And I get mine is the offensive line, but it's like the run don't seem to pop as much as it usually does. I mean, yeah, Lamar Jackson had a couple great runs there. And then it felt like at one point in this game they just started to get rocked to sleep. It's like the intensity. Like, one thing you loved about the Baltimore Ravens is their intensity, their demeanor on the sideline. They're fun. It looked like things are going well. It looked like, even when they was up, it just didn't feel. The energy is different this year. The energy this year for the Baltimore Ravens is definitely different. I thought Calais Campbell had one of the greatest, had probably his best game of the season this year on defense, which I definitely said that was a great pickup. I thought so from the beginning. He played very well today. I think he had 3 or 4 sacks. Last time I checked, it was 3. I don't know if he got another one, but I didn't see another one. But he had 3 sacks, and that's what you rung him in for. And he played well. So congratulations to him on a great game. Marcus Peters, man, he's a love-hate guy, in my opinion. Now, if I'm wrong, let me know if I'm wrong. But to me, Marcus Peters seems to be one of those guys that you could be like, he will just make a play when you need him. He just make a play. And then sometimes you just be like, bro, what was you at? What was you doing? Like, and the reason why, you look at him like that, because he's a veteran. It's like, hey, come on. Like, you can't just run downfield and hit and touch and, like, grab the receiver, bro. You can't do that. You've been in the league long enough to know to get your head turned around. You know what I'm saying? Like, turn around, look for the ball, and that you got less likelihood of them calling the pass interference on you. But when you just go and run into the receiver and hold him, you're going to get that call. So sometimes I think it's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, whatever this go, with Marcus Peters. So that kind of concerned me. And then And then you look at the last couple of drives, all of a sudden it was like they couldn't stop the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm like, I mean, they were still getting the pressure, but the secondary wasn't holding up. And, you know, there are points in there where you're like, hey, come on, man. Like, what are you seeing here? So I think that I think this game just felt off. Even though the Baltimore Ravens got a win, even when they was up, I don't know, Raven fan, let me know if y'all feel the same way I feel. The energy just feels different. It don't feel like, you know, you still feel like, you know, Lamar Jackson to me still he still looks like himself. He still got his energy, but it's not being reciprocated in my opinion. Like the rest of the team don't seem to be as, my head itch. The rest of the team don't seem to be as enthusiastic as like, pick it up. Like, you know, it's I don't know. Like I did a video last week because I always do Raven videos. And I did the video last week, and someone said, you know, it's the play calling. But it's the same. It's the same offensive coordinator. So I don't know if I'm just willing to say it's the play calling just yet. I will say this. I will say this about Greg Roman. He do got a tendency to get away from what works. Like that's the one thing that always bothers me. It's like you're like, dude, stick with what works. All right. Again, even in today's game, I felt like Lamar Jackson can run when he wanted to run. It just in sort of a conscious effort for him not to run, but it was like when he did decide to run, he was gone. It was like that's there whenever he wants it. I said this last week, and I want to say this again, man. I don't want Lamar Jackson to feel like he got to fit anybody else's mold. Be you. Lamar don't have to fit nobody else's role, because whatever other mold someone has created, say what it's supposed to be or what you should do, they didn't win MVP last year. You did. Stick to what you do, brother. Overall, I thought the pass rush was good. I mean, they really banged on Wentz. But at the same time, man, I do feel like there's something that ain't clicked yet. And the good thing about it, it's still early in the season, and you're still 5-1. So, you know, you'd rather see them start getting it together and start peaking. And they're still 5-1 when I'm talking about the Ravens. They're still 5-1. So if they start peaking later, that's when you really want it. So I'm not really concerned, but you still starting to look for certain things like the energy to come, the energy to be back, the confidence. It's like they're just better than the teams they're playing, but you want that swagger to say, we're better than you, and we're gonna make sure we handle our business. So that's what I'm looking for the Baltimore Ravens. I'm not changing my pick. I'm sticking with my pick. I'm not gonna change it for the AFC Super Bowl. I may be alone in this one, but I'm sticking with what I said. With that being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, man, you guys be great.